You press R. Just like that. No hesitation, no second thought. It's muscle memory now baked into your fingertips. In shooters, that tiny motion is as natural as breathing. You shoot and you reload. Simple. But here's the thing. It is not. Not really. Because hidden behind that one little button is an entire language. A mechanic that controls pacing, tension, risk, and expression. A mechanic we barely think about until it breaks, or until it feels so good we can't stop doing it. Reloading isn't just about topping up. It's about rhythm, about restraint, about when you choose to take that tiny pause in the middle of a firefight. It's the beat between chaos and control. And yeah, most of us just press R and we move on. But today, we are not moving on. Today we're pausing it, we're watching it, listening to it. Today, we're talking about reloading. Reloading didn't start with Doom or Quake. In fact, early FPS games barely acknowledged it. In Doom, you held the trigger and unload. Shotguns, chain guns, plasma rifles, they just fired endlessly. No stopping, no tactical decisions, you were pure aggression, uninterrupted. And it felt great for a while, but eventually that lack of pause becomes noise. There's no tension, no breathe, no rhythm. In the arcades though, things were different. Sega's Virtua Cop gave you a plastic gun and a rule. If you wanted more bullets, point off screen and pull the trigger. That physical act of reloading wasn't just functional, it added drama. It was part of the performance. Suddenly, you were aware of your vulnerability. Then came GoldenEye. The reloads were basic, but impactful. You had to manage them, especially with weapons like the club or the shotgun. It introduced that quiet half-second where everything could go wrong, and it worked really well. In 1998, Half-Life set the standard. Every weapon had its own reload, timed and animated. Enemies reloaded too. Suddenly, reloading became part of the world, not just a mechanic, but a detail that sold the immersion. And then, Counter-Strike made it deadly. In CS, reload timing could make or break you. Rushing A with 18 bullets left, you hesitated, you reloaded, someone peeked, and you died. It was no longer just about having ammo, it was about knowing when to pause. Reloads weren't afterthoughts anymore, they were part of the meta. Something to fake, something to bait with, something to hear through a wall and push on. And after that, every shooter took notice. Call of Duty gave reloads a rhythm. Halo gave them style. Battlefield gave them weight. From arcade shooters to milsims, the reload had arrived. So why does reloading matter? Because it shapes the tempo of combat. It creates contrast. It slows you down just enough to make your next action matter more. In Call of Duty, players reload after every fight, sometimes even mid-fight. It reflects, not because it's needed, but because it feels clean. It keeps the loop flowing. Burst, move, reload, slide, peek, the reload becomes a reset button. But that reflex gets punished. In competitive modes like Search and Destroy, that half-second pause can be fatal. You reload after spraying a corner and just as you do, a player swings. You're caught. The reload isn't just animation, it's commitment. Some games let you break that commitment. Reload cancelling in COD, for example, gives players tools to game the system. It makes the reload itself a space to optimize, a place for mastery. Then you get games like Gears of War, where the reload is a mechanic in itself. Active reload turns it into a high-stakes timing game. Hit the sweet spot and your bullets hit harder. Miss and your gun jams. Suddenly, reloading is about skill, not just timing. On the opposite end, receiver strips away all automation. Every part of the reload is manual. Mag out, load rounds, insert, rack, and if you forget a step, you're dead. It is stressful, but it makes every bullet feel precious. You're not just fighting enemies, you're managing your nerves. Ready or Not brings that mindset into tactical realism. You get two kinds of reload, a careful tactical one that preserves your magazine, and a speed reload that throws it away. Each has consequences, and your operator calls it out. In a high-stress room breach, your squad hears "reloading," and suddenly they know you're out of the fight. That one word can change the tempo of the whole team. And a game like Arma goes even deeper. Magazines are not interchangeable. Each mag has its own remaining rounds. You have to track them manually. Pull the wrong one and you might be down to 3 bullets with no idea. It's not just about pressing R, it's about knowing what R will do. Reloading becomes mental load, a decision, a reflection of your preparedness. All of this shows that reloading isn't just a background loop. It's a design lever, a pacing device, a tension builder, a place where game feel and player psychology meet. Okay, let's talk sensation. Because a good reload doesn't just work, it feels amazing. Modern Warfare 2019 set a new bar here. Every animation is handcrafted. Guns shake with weight, mags snap into place, slides rack with force. You reload not just because you have to, but because it's satisfying. Even little things like the way your character moves during the animation, the shoulder drop, the hand movement, the momentum, it all sells the illusion. In Tarkov, that illusion is even heavier. You feel every step, how long it takes, how vulnerable you are while doing it. The sound of your mag hitting the ground echoes differently depending on the floor. That's not just polish, that's immersion. Apex Legends goes the other way. Reloads are exaggerated, stylish, fast. Characters toss mags in the air, some reload one-handed, some spin their weapons. It's all part of the character fantasy. You reload like a badass because you are a badass. And sound ties it all together. A clean metallic clack, a shell being racked, the famous of a M1 Garand. These sounds become iconic. They let you know you're safe or not. In Ready or Not, the audio of reloading is functional. Squad mates hear it. It's communication, a cue, a vulnerability. In Hunt Showdown, hearing someone reload nearby might be your only warning before an ambush. Great reloads combine timing, animation, and sound. They become rhythm, they become signal, they become sensation. But when it's off, you feel it. An animation that floats, a sound effect that's distinct, a reload that takes too long for no reason or too fast for the gun you are using, it breaks immersion, it breaks trust. Some games treat reloads as an afterthought. You hit hard, the gun moves a bit, and that's it. No sound, no weight, you're left wondering if it even happened. And that matters, because reloading is so baked into FPS design that when it's wrong, you notice, fast. It's one of those mechanics you take for granted, until the spell breaks. Reloading isn't just a button, it's the pause between choices, the space between aggression and caution. It's one of those small things that, when done right, disappears, but when it's wrong, it pulls you out completely. It's animation, it's sound, it's pacing, it's psychology, it is game feel. So the next time you press R, don't just do it on autopilot. Listen, watch, feel it. Because that little moment might be telling you more about the game and the people who made it than you think. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, drop a like, hit subscribe and tell me, what is the most satisfying reload you've ever experienced? Or the worst? I would love to hear both. See you in the next one.